தமிழரின் பாரம்பரிய திருவிழாவை கொண்டாடுவோம் புத்தாடை பொங்கலோடு. The Chennai Silks. Let the celebrations begin.
First, I would like to call upon our first panelist for today, Mr. Ravanan N, Executive Director at Daily Hunt, CEO, Oneindia. Can we all give a huge round of applause as we welcome him on the stage, please? An astute thought leader with 23 years of experience in managing teams across content, sales and business development, product development, and operation management across leading telecom operations in India, experience in having excelled in startup conditions and successfully scaling businesses from scratch, now heading content across the portfolio for India's largest vernacular platform and building the go-to content destination for Bharat. We welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Naveen Chandra, founder and CEO, 91 Film Studios. Please give a huge round of applause as we welcome him on the stage. He has over 30 years of leadership experience across films, TV, radio, print, and digital media in India and internationally. His studio focuses on producing, marketing, and distributing regional language feature films. Previously, he launched the Storyteller Funds, a SEBI registered AIF providing structured capital to the regional film industry. Naveen has produced and distributed films in various Indian languages and helped build renowned brands like Times of India, Radio Mirchi, and Ghana.com. We welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to call upon a moderator and speaker for today, Mr. Ish Sundaram, founder, CEO, Utpata Ventures. Can we all put our hands together and welcome him on the stage, please? Ish is the founder and CEO of Utpata Ventures, an early-stage venture fund and operating executive at Taival Capital, a market private equity firm focused on industrial and technology portfolios. He served as the Executive Vice President and Chief Digital and Technology Officer of JetBlue Airways Corporation from 2012 until his retirement in February 2021. He was a founder of JetBlue Technology Ventures and served as a director on multiple public and private companies, including SolarWinds, Intelsat, and Vesco International. We welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to welcome Ms. Gayatri Tyagarajan, CEO of Kinhood Technologies. Gayatri Tyagarajan, CEO of Kinhood Technologies and founder of KYN, a neighborhood discovery and connectivity platform, has over 2 decades of versatile experience in financial services and technology firms in London, New York, Zurich, Singapore, and India. She has held senior positions in various verticals like business strategy and leadership, data, technology, operations, and finance. As a senior management professional, she has effectively partnered with C-suite leaders to define the vision and manage the execution of business strategy, leading to targeted, profitable outcomes. We welcome you, ma'am. Last but not the least, I would like to call upon Dr. Viveka Kalidasan. Can we all give a huge round of applause as we welcome her on the stage, please? Dr. Viveka Kalidasan is a visionary technopreneur recognized as one of MIT's 35 innovators under 35 and Singapore's top 100 women in technology. She is the founder and CEO of River Venture Studio, the world's first inclusive Industry 5.0 accelerator focused on sustainability and human-centric innovation. River Venture Studio helps Global Startup Cafe, offering pilot opportunities and fostering diversity in leadership. We welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. வணக்கம் சென்னை. எப்படி இருக்கீங்க எல்லாரும்? First thing that comes to my mind is Tirukkural. You know, I love Tirukkural. I spend at least a little bit of time learning. And there is a Tirukkural which says, Epporul yarvai kepinum apporul meipporul kanbadu arivu, which is very powerful. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the media, right? And you need to make sure that it's accurate. It's your responsibility to take what is available and you make it accurate. But the world of media has changed from throwing stuff to everyone to making it personalized. Ravnan, I would love to hear from you as how do you know, the data availability is, you know, billions of times better than what it was. And there is with AI and X and all these things, like there's so much stuff around you today. How do you guys see that data and how do you distill that to make what is more relevant for the Ish and the Gayatri? Because I have like 10 seconds to read something, right? And now if you think about the local communities and all those things, it's not like the front page matters to them. It's that specific information that matters to them is what is relevant. How do you see the world moving with technology and the local communities?
It's interesting you brought this question because the very rockbed of Daily Hunt, the mobile aggregation app, is how do we leverage technology and personalize content, right? And personalization is not an easy task. I wouldn't say it's been solved till now, but it's a journey, right? And like Gayatri was mentioning, she looks at a lot of data, right? In India, especially in this current context, there are two schools of thought. One are apps which take a lot of information from you, and the other are all apps that infer a lot of information from what you do, right? So there's explicit personalization and implicit personalization, right? So explicit is what you do in Facebook. Facebook technically knows who you are, who your cousins are, who's your brother, what's your brother doing. So it's a lot more easy for platforms like Facebook, Google. They'll know a lot more information about you, so they're able to info better. And personalization is generally the ability to predict what you are more likely to consume. And that comes from a lot of signals and data that you give, right? We belong to a school that doesn't take any login information, right? So the social apps build what you call as a social profile of an organization, of a person or an organization. What apps like ours do is we build what we call as a content profile. They're two different, I would say, ends of spectrum, right? Given this whole concern of privacy, I think we like to stick to the whole content profile. So what we do is we know a little bit of who you are based on what mobile device you use, which campaign you're responding to, which language you speak, which location you come. And from this, we go about a journey of trying to know a lot more about you, with only from the signals that you give on the content you consume. Right? It's slightly more convoluted problem to solve, but I think we've been doing that fairly well. And then you throw in another dimension of language, which kind of complicates it more. But having said that, I think today, personalization leads to probably 4 or 5x more engagement on content than any other platform. Right? Gone are the days when you have a chronological feed of content where you could just consume what they think you should consume, right? And today, most apps, every home screen of the app is very different from everybody. The person sitting next to you sees something else, and what I see is very different, right? So while the problem has thrown up a lot of challenges, and especially with a market like India where there are multiple languages, right? Multiple contexts, multiple nuances, but I think we are all in part of the journey. I think Kin also is trying to solve that problem in some way, but we should get there at some point of time. But personalization is the key because it provides you more context to what you're more likely to consume.
This is to Mr. Ravadan, and one more question to Ms. Gayatri. As an aggregator, what is your strategy vis-a-vis the publishers and content creators? And I'll also can ask Gayatri also, you talk about micro-marketing and neighborhood. What's your definition or understanding of what neighborhood is, or perception of what neighborhood is? Thank you.
I'll probably take the question. So when we started the journey, right, back then, content didn't exist digitally to a large extent. So the problem then was very different. Problem was trying to convince publishers to give us their content without them feeling that we violated their copyright space. But the journey has now progressed to such an extent that today we have every single publisher who's digitally present on a platform, right? So it's a journey. The strategy has evolved over a period of time. Today, I think we've gone beyond a point where my partnership team has any strategy. They're only maintaining partnerships now because we've almost got everybody onto the platform. Having said that, that's one layer of a publishing ecosystem in India. We have those organizations which create content. But as you go downstream, you have a lot of individual creators who started creating content, right? So for that, the strategy is slightly more, I would say, evolved, needs to evolve a little more, because we see that a lot of noise gets generated from individual content creation. I think quite a few of these kids at the Kinthon tried to solve the problem of moderation, right? If you see any platform that's gone through a journey of individual content creators, has stepped back a little because it creates a lot more noise than what you'd want. So today, content creation is slightly more, on the text side at least, is slightly more controlled. While on the video side, there's a lot of problems. Now, if you see, Facebook has just changed the strategy on moderation. It's moved towards community notes. I think the scale at which it needs to be done is very expensive, right? So that's going to be what defines your strategy on content aggregation.
How you imagine TN25 like events help growing Tamil Nadu's economies and technological growth?
Good. Events like this, I mean, firstly, I'm happy to be at an event like this. Very impressed with the scale of the event. And if Tamil Nadu is pulling this off, I think it's largely because of the vision of the IT minister that we have right now. Right? Events like these are very important for every participant of the value chain. Right from that source of talent, colleges, schools, in fact, schools, colleges. The startup ecosystem is also getting very warmed up to this kind of a concept where they're able to meet people, network, pick up talent, pick up ideas, and the venture capitalists. All stakeholders, for all stakeholders like this, I think it's a very relevant event. Okay, and if we start doing this event at a larger scale going forward and looking at a more always-on kind of a mode, I think TN could be on the map of Silicon Valley. Yeah?
So even like this, how it create opportunities for a startup organization and well-established organizations?
So any networking event, for that matter, helps in people getting ideas, getting contacts, connects. Yeah. So this is not just another event, right? This is a specific event where there is a sizable involvement of the government, right? So this adds a little more value than a regular networking event that happens on a private scale, right? So now, just now, I think the minister has announced that he will do a year-long event, a year-long activity to promote such things, right? So very important for every stakeholder to be part of it, and now with the support of the government, I think this takes it to a next level.
You can see a lot of youngsters and college students. How it helpful for them, these kind of events?
So I was just at one of the panel discussions where we gave away awards for a hackathon event, right? And I was very impressed with the range and depth of topics that these kids have taken, right? And these are not small problems to solve. And I think they're thinking in the right direction. Okay, quite a few of them at GenAI, quite a few of them are trying to solve for real world problems, right? And I think I am pretty happy with the way the talent is shaping up in Tamil Nadu, at least the talent that I've seen today, right? And this should serve as an inspiration for kids who not made it here, right? And such events should happen more often.
From your point of view, which skills are critical for future of tech ecosystems?
See, I think people have been hopping about a lot about the new gen technologies of Gen AI, right? And while I'm not a doomsayer, I'm sure Gen AI would impact us in every way that we do business, right? And it would impact us in a very positive way for sure. It's about who jumps onto the bandwagon, who adopts themselves earlier, will be successful.
Finally, how's the event? How's the organizing came?
Very nice event. I've been to quite a few events. This would be one of the top 2-3 events that I've attended, right? And happy to see the level and scale of which this event is going on, right? And I'm sure more such events should happen in Tamil Nadu if we have to be on the map. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
தமிழரின் பாரம்பரிய திருவிழாவை கொண்டாடுவோம் புத்தாடை பொங்கலோடு. The Chennai Silks. Let the celebrations begin.